Okay, welcome, fight fans. This is a newspaper reading of Mustard Gate. This is a bout that took place February 28th, 1899, and it was a rather huge event as it started. This is February of 1899, and it kind of throughout the 1890s made a lot of outlawed fights in different cities, made much quicker police interference, all because of the events of this particular fight, Mustard Gate, as it was talked about for the next 30 years. When when Jack Bonner dies in his obituary, there's a full length recap of this particular fight. So that's pretty far into the future. So they were talking about it for quite a long time. And I do a reading of that at the end of the Jack Bonner boxing profile during his obituary. I read parts of that. So this is a match where the referee Charlie White actually punched Jack Bonner in the face, and then police intervened, and Jack Bonner had to basically beg for his life from the police billy clubs as they were about ready to smash his skull in, and he had to beg for his life. A lot of these different readings here are mentioned in the West versus Bonner bout that's in the profile. But I'm going to do some readings here right out of the newspaper and try and string together a few different articles, so bear with me here. "It was all a mistake," said Bonner. "There was no reason why I should use those kind of tactics at that stage of the fight anyway, as I was strong and did not think that I had any worse of the go. I lost $640 of my own money by losing. The statement that the mustard was on my gloves is false. My arm and body are badly burned from the effects of the oil, as it has been rubbed in by my seconds." So that was Bonner's explanation on March 2nd, the day after. Okay, let's see what I'm going to read here first here. We're going to go with this one here. "There was a villainous trick attempted at the Lenox Athletic Club tonight during the 8th round of the fight between Jack Bonner of Summit Hill, Pennsylvania, and Tommy West of New York. Just as Bonner left his corner, an unpleasant odor filled the atmosphere. It was oil of mustard and came from one of Bonner's gloves. As in one breath, West and Charlie White, the latter referee, exclaimed, 'I am blinded.' Everyone around the ring experienced similar sensations. There were cries of outrage and foul, which soon extended to all parts of the arena. White and West staggered about the ring in pure agony, covering their eyes with their hands. Both were suffering from pain. A scene of disorder followed. Spectators rose from their seats and hurled oaths about the appealing freedom. The police, headed by Inspector Kane, jumped into the ring. White had recovered somewhat during the excitement and made a dash at Johnny Gorman, one of Bonner's seconds, who was guilty of placing the liquid on the fighter's gloves, and would have done Bonner considerable injury had not Inspector Kane interfered. White later then declared West winner. The physical advantages were in favor of Bonner. He was taller. He had a longer reach than West. The latter, however, looked well. The conditions called for the men to fight 20 rounds at catchweight. The opening round was very mild slaps. The only effective blow delivered was credited to West. It was with the left hand on the body and made Bonner wince. West was very aggressive in the second round and drew blood from Bonner's nose with the first blow struck. He followed this up by rushing the Pennsylvania man to the ropes and scoring with right and left on the face and body. Bonner's showing was disappointing. He acted strangely at times, and every time he scored, his hand was open. There was a marked exchange for the better in Bonner's work in the third. He closed his glove and several times scored forcibly with the left on the body. West landed 3 straight left-hand jabs on Bonner's damaged nasal organ. Bonner was on the offensive in the fourth round and promptly jabbed West hard on his nose. The blow made West reel, and the Pennsylvania man was quick to take advantage of the other's condition. Landed twice hard with lefts to the body. Towards the close of the round, West got home 3 times with a left on the nose. In the sixth round, the exchanges were of a mild character. Once or twice, Bonner woke up and scored with a left heavily on the body, but taken all in all, his action had a peculiar look, and an unfavorable comment was heard in the boxes. In the seventh round, West landed a stiff jab over the left eye, causing a big bump to appear. Then came the round with the poisoned glove, and the tumult fighting grew out of the discovery ended with Jack Bonner being placed under arrest. Okay, I'll give you a quick other one here. Charlie White, the referee, closed on the boxers at the time, fell back as if to blow at the same time. The spectators, who filled nearly 2/3 of the clubhouse, were still wondering what was up when White, rubbing his eyes, broke between the fighters and ordered them to their corners. Bonner refused to obey, while West, wiping his eyes hard, was anxious to go to his corner. The strong, aromatic smell gave the spectators close to the ring addition caused a wonder, but explanation came quickly. The referee stopped the bout in the first minute of the eighth round and refused to permit it to go on. Referee White explained that Bonner had gone in for the eighth round with his gloves smeared with mustard of oil that blinded West when the latter received a blow. The splattering of the liquid blinded the referee at the same time. And White, well versed in ring tactics and all manners of foul measures, had comprehended the trick instantly. Still blind from the shock of irritating liquids in his eyes, he called a halt. He felt and smelled of Bonner's gloves and stopped the bout. The official decision given a few moments later was that Bonner was disqualified for a foul in using drugs to blind and incapacitate his adversary. The fact that Bonner was a 5-1 favorite in the betting caused vigorous protest among the spectators, but the presence of the police, who broke into the ring at the first sign of a row, checked all efforts to create trouble, and the house was cleared without any disturbance. An altercation between Tom O'Rourke and one of Bonner's backers followed the decision of referee Charlie White. Several blows were exchanged before the police, who made a cordon around the ring at the first evidence of trouble, separated them. The injury to West and White from the action of the pungent oil of mustard on the membrane of the eyes, nose, and throat were severe and painful for the moment, but rapidly wore away. Referee White was able to leave the clubhouse with his friends within a short time, and West, after his eyes and nose were washed with cooling lotions, showed no bad effect. So that is a story of a mustard gate. In these particular reviews, they do not comment about how Charlie West decked Jack Bonner, and then the police were about to assault Jack Bonner in the middle of the ring, and he pleaded for his life from getting struck with the billy club. They do not mention that in these particular articles, but there was another article that's after the fact that I read that has those details in it. So there's some other commentary on it on the Jack Bonner boxing profile. But that is the summary of Mustard Gate, February 28th, 1899. One of the biggest ring riots in the entire decade, where the referee actually punches a boxer. And that referee was Charlie White, and that culprit was Jack Bonner, the known troublemaker.